Okay, guys, so let's talk about iPhone 14 and basically the roundup from yesterday of it's just a recap of what happened yesterday. So Apple had their event yesterday whereby they launched the new iPhone and also the watch and also the the AirPod Pro. So I will be highlighting these three, but my focus today is on photography and videography. So I will be talking mainly about the camera, but I'll touch base on the other things that were released. So I just want to focus on because this is a massive, in my own opinion, in terms of photography, like I said, and video, this is a massive upgrade. Now, this channel is all about photography and video. We talk about how you can turn your passion into a profit. I also do some tutorials on editing. I also do some BTS on my photo shoot and few tips here and there on this channel. So if those things interest you, please subscribe to this channel. Also click on the notification bell to get notified. So let's get into the review. So the iPhone 14 lineup was released yesterday, and we have the 14 and we have the 14 Pro line, which has also the Max. There are differences between the Pro and the 14 Pro in terms of the camera, base and video. So I'll just leave, the recap of all the differences and the features between the 14. First of all, we'll look at the 14, and we'll look at the Pro Max and the Pro, the features of this camera. But let's highlight a few things that I feel is very important when it comes to in terms of the photography and the videography aspect. In terms of physicality, first of all, in terms of the software, this is a new sensor. Also, this sensor is built on a new chip, which is the 16 bionic chip. So for this to be able to work properly. So let's talk about the physicality. Now, on the Pro Max, you have three cameras on the back, and on the normal one, you have the two cameras. On the normal 14, you have the main camera, which is still a 12 megapixel, and also you have a telephoto lens as well. But on the Pro Max, this is where the upgrade begins, and I think this is massive in terms of photography. Moving from 12 megapixel to 48 megapixel for the main camera on the Pro Max and the Pro, I think is a massive upgrade in photography resolution. Allows you for a lot of flexibility to do different stuff, cropping, details matters a lot. So moving from 12 to 48 is just a massive leap, and this is one reason that even if you have to consider one reason why you have to move from maybe if you're on 12 or 11 or maybe 10, this is one reason that you have to consider, because then you can do a lot with this. Now on the front facing camera is still the same, but they now have new what they call the true depth on the front facing camera. Right now it's still 12 megapixel on both the Pro and the number 14, but you now get face detect, like face tracking and face detect, so autofocus, so it allows you to take more sharper and accurate pictures, especially when you're using your camera, front facing camera. Now gives you the ability. For the 14, you now have on the main, the aperture there is the widest aperture is 1.4, and on the Pro Max you now have 1.78 on the main. That is a lot of, it gives you a lot of room for a lot of depth of field. It allows you to be able to blow out your background more, and it lets in more light as well in terms of doing night photography, I think. But one caveat to that is also, and one still major difference between the cameras on the phone and also on the professional camera like I'm using right now, I'm using a Sony a7 IV, is that these are still 24 focal length, 24 on the phone. You still have a fixed focal length, which is 24, and that's the downside, because you just have to make that 24 works in different condition and different environment. Whereas on the Pro cameras, you have ability to change your lenses from 24 to maybe to 50 to 105 to 135, and also zoom lenses as well. So there's a lot of room for flexibility in terms of that. So but the focal length, I mean, in terms of the image quality that we were shown yesterday, it looks amazing, it looks beautiful, and I think you should consider looking at that specs. Now, well, in terms of also photos, you have the ability to shoot in RAW under the Pro and the Pro Max. However, on the normal one, you are not able to shoot in Pro. So in the raw format. Now, when it comes to the video aspect of things, this is where even things get more interesting. Now you are now able to shoot up to 4K and 20p, which is industry standard for when you're shooting like a cinematic films and things like that. The HDR also improve in the overall color as well. You see how your 4K 60, 4K 30p as well. But introduction of 4K 24 also give your phone camera now more capability to actually shoot through cinematic movies as well. Also, they've improved the cinematic mode on your phone right now, which allows you to be able to pull focus or rack focus, changing from one object to the other. You can also do that even still change your depth of field or object even in editing. If you want to, maybe you've made a mistake by moving from one object to the other when you shouldn't have, you can reverse it when you're editing. That has been in existence since iPhone 13 anyway. So these are some of the changes. Also, in addition to that, you also have the ability now, you have more image stabilization built inside the phone right now, especially when you're filming, when you're running. You get more stable images, which is fantastic. With the click of the button, you should be able to get more cleaner image. Obviously, you still have to be careful in how you're making your movement, but at least there's more room for getting a better, sharper image. So you have all this built in terms of even your video right now with the 48 megapixels. It means that you can also crop in. It means that you also get better details in terms of video. And so looking at all this, what does this mean for even for the general people, the enthusiasts, and the pros and the pro photographers and videographers? What does it mean? For me, I feel like right now we're at the point whereby computational photography inside of the phone is just on another level. And I don't mean it's only iPhone. There are also maybe Android phone. I only use iPhone, so I pay more attention to iPhone. So I don't want any brand war on the comment below. But we're just saying that, look, we have reached a point right now whereby phones are so good, right? But as they as good as the pro cameras, I would say no, because resolution matters a lot in photography and also other things like ability to change your focal length, to change your lenses. Your sensor also matters a lot. Like in pro cameras, you have a bigger sensor. That is why, like a medium format sensor is bigger than a full frame sensor. And a medium format will generate better resolution images than a full frame mirrorless that I am currently using right now. This mirrorless camera sensor is way bigger than the phone sensor. So obviously, in most situations, it will still produce more, more resolution and also give you the ability to blur and do different things and all that. But in terms of the capability, in terms of AI ability for you to pick up your phone and just take photos, and phone is now so intelligent because of the AI. And this is one thing I think the camera companies needs to start to take a hold of. Something has to give. Since the launch of the first iPhone, if you check the stats, the sales of the professional cameras has been dropping, and it's at the lowest at this point. And with these new technologies even in Samsung and iPhone and the rest of them, it just means that things are going to get even worse with the sales of the professional camera. For me, if you're a content creator or someone who wants to take this phone and travel, or you want to take this phone to just take photos of your family, or do small things here and there, I think these phones are more capable than people actually take it for. For instance, in photography, light is almost, I would say, light is almost like 50 or I would say 40% of your entire photography. So with your phone right now, if you can get a good light, what do I mean by a good light? Right now I'm using a cob light on top of me right now, lithium right now, and this light is like 200 pounds. That light, if you get one of it or two of it, you can lit up the whole room. Make sure you get a proper light. And if you put your iPhone 14 Pro Max in front of you on a tripod to do a YouTube video with a 41 megapixel, ability to shoot in ProRes, and maybe download an app called Film Pro, I think Film Mic Pro. It's an app on the App Store and also on Android. This app allows you to take control of your camera, to use a manual setting of your camera, of your phone. So it will turn your camera, your phone camera, into like a professional camera. It will allow you to control your ISO, your aperture, and also your shutter speed, and everything will be happening in real time. And if you have that, also have a professional mic now. DJI has a mic right now that you can buy. You can, connect it to your phone, and then you can get good quality, even Rode as well. Have the same thing, and you connect it to your phone. There are two things that are very important when you're doing your production: audio and light. They are very critical. Not minding the kind of camera that you're using. If you have a good quality light setup and you have good quality audio, no matter the kind of camera you're using, as long as that camera can show images, you're going to get good quality image. All I'm saying right now is people don't need to worry too much about, my camera phone, I'm not sure whether I can use my phone for content. Right now, you can use your phone for content because these cameras are now so good when it comes to that. Now, for me, will this be the end for photographers and videographers? I will still say no, because the human element is still there. Having someone for your event, you still need a human being. Maybe that will change in the next few years. We don't know. But for now, I still think that obviously there's still room for a lot of, for photographers existence and videographers and filmmakers existing. But one thing that must happen is that the professional camera makers like Sony, Nikon, Canon, Fuji, they have to implement what we call the computational photography into the professional camera. Something has to give, something has to start right now. It cannot continue this way because the phones, the picture that you can take of astrophotography on your phones, in some cases, they are so way better. They're much better than even on the professional camera. And you don't need to do any settings. You don't need to change anything. Just pick up your phone and take those photos. And with the 48 megapixel right now capability on the new iPhone Pro Max, 14 Pro Max, I think the possibility is just becoming more endless of what you can achieve on the phone with filmmaking and also in terms of photography. There's a lot going on for photography right now on the mobile phone, on our smartphone right now. People just to get hold of how to use few accessories to get the best out of these cameras especially. So for me, if you're planning to say, okay, which one should I go for? If you are, like I said, someone who wants to create content or you want to use it for something to even this content here and there or something like that, go for the Pro Max, in my own opinion. It also has all-day battery life as well on a Pro Max, so you know that your battery will be on for a long time as well. So also, but one caveat to that is that obviously if you're shooting on Pro Max, I would just advise that you should go for 1 TB. If you know you're going to be doing a lot of content, 1 TB is very, very essential, because if you're shooting in ProRes, it will eat deep into your space. Like 1 or 2 minutes or 5 minutes can almost, take a lot out of your space already. And within a month or two, you can be out of space. I don't believe you should even be considering 128 or 256 if you're going for Pro Max. I think the minimum you should start from is 112, and I think that will set you back by around 1,400 pounds. I think for the Pro Max on 1 TB, I think that will set you back by around 1,700 pounds. Wow, that is expensive. And so overall, I think these phones are still at the same price as they were the last time, which is not a bad thing. But for you to get the full width and enjoy the full camera benefit and the video, I think the Pro Max will give you the maximum of that. I'm just beginning to think that you can do a lot with this camera, and people just need to start to use all the available tools that they have. There are other things that were released on the day, which is also the AirBud Pro, also the watch. Now with the AirBud starts at 249, but there are two things that's been implemented. Like you have more clear details in terms of sound right now, better noise cancellation, and you have some tap. You can now use some type gestures to do different things on the AirPod Pro itself. Regarding the watch, you now have 3 types of watches. You have the Ultra, you have the SE, and you have the number one. The Ultra one is 849, start at 849. The normal one start at 499 for the cellular version, and also for the SE one, which is the entry level, start at 399 as well for the cellular one. I think the new tool software that is being implemented into the Apple ecosystem is very, very good. The first one is crash detection. What that does for you is that the crash detection, whenever people have accidents, it's going to call straight away. It will dictate that you've had an accident, and it will call the emergency center straight away from your phone or from your watch directly as well. The second one allows you to do is to, whenever you don't have internet or any form of connection, all you need to do is to go outside. Now your phone can connect to the satellite, and the satellite can still connect to the emergency center, and you can chat with them by just sending messages. It will give you an option of picking some frequently asked questions. I can just let's say I lost my car, I'm lost, or I'm kidnapped, or something like that. You just click on one and someone will start chatting with you as well. So I think these are two welcome addition. On the watch as well, you now have ability for women. They're looking more into women's health, and now women can use the watch to kind of monitor their cycles, which is a great thing as well. You see how the the ECG, and you see how the ability to monitor your blood levels and things like that. And you also get free 3 months. I think when you buy the watch, the fitness care, you get it free for 3 months as well. So these were all the things that were released yesterday, that we talked about on the Apple yesterday. For the phones, you can order them, I think, from 9th of September, and then they'll be available, I think, from next week, maybe 16th. The same thing for the watch. You can order them, I think, from right now, straight away, from yesterday when it was done. I think the same thing with the AirPod as well. It's only the phone I think you need to wait for until night. And also the Ultra, for the watch, the watch Ultra, you still have to wait as well for, I think, until night to be able to order that as well. So that is everything. And my thought right now, like I said, is photographers, we are getting to a point whereby we are looking at, wow, there's a lot of changes, there's a lot going on in the world of photography and video on a mobile phone. So much can be done, but still, you're still going to need a photographer or a filmmaker for your event, one way or the other as well. Thank you for joining me on this review. Until next time, I want you guys to keep safe. Make sure you smash this like button here on this if you like this video, and also let me know in the comment below, the phone that you're using, what excites you most about the iPhone 14 lineup. Will you be getting it or not? Let's start having a conversation right in the comment below. I'll see you guys next time, and I say bye bye.